how would you like to be taken to a different world? How would you like to experience the siege of Alexandria with Caesar and Cleopatra? How about cross the Rubicon with Roman centurions? Or visit Massilia, what we now call Marseille, in ancient times? Well, if so, may I recommend you read one of the many books in Stephen Saylor's series, Roma Sub Rosa. Why do I like this series so much? They're mysteries. They are historical fiction, but most importantly, they're written in such a way that it's easy and enjoyable for me to read. If you like mysteries, then you will like his series, Roma Sub Rosa. The main character, Gordianus the Finder, is what we would call a detective. He and one of his sons are charged with investigating unexplained circumstances or finding out about a crime, even murder. Woven into these mysteries is the fact that the stories are set in ancient Rome, near the end of the Roman Republic, when Caesar is coming to power. So in addition to the details of the plot, there are lots of descriptions about life and society, even music of times back then. As Gordianus researches and thinks about the case, he also muses on the human condition and gives us more details about how people perceived such a different world back then. Or, more exactly, how Stephen Saylor thinks people perceived the world back then according to his research. This brings me to my third point, which is Stephen Saylor's writing. I find it engrossing. When I read other books, I can manage a chapter a night, finishing it in a month. But when I get a book by Stephen Saylor, I read it at lunch, breakfast, dinner, on the way to work, on the way home. I'm riding the bus, don't worry. And before I know it, I'm finished, and I want another one to read. So I would like to share that with you by reading an excerpt from The Triumph of Caesar by Stephen Saylor. I heard that you were dead. Such a brusque comment from Caesar's wife might have offended me had I not already heard it from many others since I returned from Egypt to Rome, where everyone apparently had given me up for dead. Having sent a slave to summon me, Calpurnia had received me in an elegantly but sparsely furnished room in her house, not far from mine on the Palatine Hill. There was only one chair. She sat. I stood and tried not to fidget while the most powerful woman in Rome looked me up and down. Yes, I'm sure one of my agents told me you drowned in the Nile, she said, gazing at me shrewdly. Yet here you stand before me, Gordianus, as alive as ever, unless those Egyptians have learned to bring the dead back to life, not just mummify them. She fixed her chilly gaze on my face. How old are you, Gordianus? 64. No! Have the Egyptians found a way to restore a man's youth? You look very fit for a man your age. You're 10 years older than my husband. Yet I dare say you look 10 years younger. I shrugged. Great Caesar carries the weight of the whole world on his shoulders. His enemies have been destroyed, but his responsibilities are greater than ever. The worries and cares of the world's master must be endless. My humble life has taken a different course. My obligations grow less, not more. I've had my share of strife, but now I'm at peace with the world and with myself. For the time being, at least. And that was an excerpt from Stephen Saylor's The Triumph of Caesar. Other books in this series include Roman Blood, Arms of Nemesis, and Murder on the Appian Way. I should warn you that there are references to drinking, gambling, and intercourse of more than a social nature. Being mysteries, there are descriptions of violence, but in the end, justice prevails, good wins over evil in all of the books. So in summary, if you like a mystery, or if you like a history, or if you just like something fun to read, why not go to your local bookseller or your library? We'll give you a bibliography after my speech, and pick up a book by Stephen Saylor. I guarantee you'll be taken to a different world. Mr. Toastmaster.